Hey everyone, my name is Lauren Ray and I'm an occupational therapy student at the Medical University of South Carolina. I'm so excited to share with you the benefits of vestibular input and how it affects our body. This is one of the 8 senses that occupational therapists talk about. A lot of people only know the 5 senses, which is okay, but we like to add on 3 more. So this is one of those, and basically when I think about vestibular, I think balance, movement, and position in space. These are 3 words that I want you to remember and think about as we talk about it. So vestibular input, basically we're talking about how your ear is, there's these things in your ear that help you balance, and it basically sends these connections to your brain, which is really cool, and the science behind it is amazing. But sometimes we can become dysregulated when we don't have this input. So we might see in the clinic a child running down the hall because they need movement. They need to be active. And a lot of times we'll hear parents say, oh, well, my child is just super clumsy. They like fall on the playground and they're always falling on curbs. Like they just trip over themselves. Another thing we hear is my kid is head banging and I'm very concerned about their safety. So they might be hitting their head on their hand, or they might be even biting their hand, stuff like that is some of the dysfunction that we see from this vestibular input. So we need to provide them with the best and easiest strategies to overcome this, right? So I'm thinking in the clinic, okay, you guys might not have swings like we do at occupational therapy clinics. You might not have scooter boards that we would use or any of those materials, but you know that movement is going to help them. We're not going to try to sit a kid down. So if they're like highly aroused, some people like me and all other people be like, oh, we need to get them to calm down. We need to get them to calm down. They're super crazy right now. Sometimes a kid that is like that needs the input. So if they're sensory seeking, which means they want the input, they're under responsive to basically anything else. We want to provide them with some vestibular input. It doesn't have to be something crazy like running down the hall. It could be jumping up and down in one spot on a certain square in the clinic. It could be jumping jacks. It could be anything that gets them moving. So maybe we have a balloon and we're hitting it up in the air. Maybe we are doing some wall push-ups or something just to get them active. Anything that gets them active, we want to include. So in therapy for OT, we have swings that suspend and they connect to the ceiling. The child can get on the platform. It's like a little square. They can complete puzzles. And I've seen it time and time again where you give a kid a puzzle, they won't do it. But somehow you put vestibular input, that linear motion that we're talking about back and forth, and the kid will literally sit there, pick up the piece, bring it to the puzzle as they're swinging. So as they're getting the input they need, they're able to complete a cognitive task, which is really cool. So I just want you guys to think about this. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Another thing that we can kind of see in children that have vestibular dysfunction is they come in and they're very low tone. Maybe they don't have as much muscle tone to them, or maybe we see like a difference in that. And so just kind of be aware of how they present themselves when you come into clinic. That will really help you determine whether they need this or whether they don't. And you might not know for a while if they need it. Maybe the kid is fatigued or they're lethargic. I think that we could get them a little bit up and get them to that just right challenge, which is what we kind of talk about as OTs, is we don't want them to be super up here and like crazy hyper, but we don't want them to be low. And so we want them to be just in the middle, not just right. So if you have any more questions, this is supposed to be a brief video, but I just wanted to provide you with an idea of what it is, because a lot of people don't understand it, and that's okay. Please email me if you have any more questions or call me. I will be willing to talk about anything. Thank you and have a good day.